Blue Collar Sports. We're back, and the champ is here. The champ is in the building.
Welcome to the vault. Welcome to the vault in Monrovia.
That angelic voice you hear is the defending, reigning middleweight champ, king of the cage, Daniel Elion Hernandez, back again. What's going on, man?
Nothing. Just got done training. You guys caught me when I'm tired.
Yeah, look like you're pretty beat.
Yeah.
How's your training camp going? Fill us in.
Wonderfully. Everything's great. Same old. But today was definitely a good, solid. Did about an hour earlier and then about 2.5 right now. So I'm ready to go home and go to bed. You guys were late, you know? Now it is.
Well, the thing is, we would have been here earlier, but Blue Collar Sports had Jeff Van Gundy, who's not here today, on a special assignment. So we're actually waiting to hear back from him. He didn't get back to us on time. He was actually out in El Segundo at the Lakers practice facility, holding down some interviews for the Summer League.
Sitting right next to Kobe on the bench?
Yeah,
okay,
pretty much. But yeah, he's over there.
Little ice packs on.
Yeah, ice packs.
With
That's
this
what
life
happens when you
alert
get in
ready
your,
to go.
your late 30s, man. But so I mean, you're kind of like I guess revving down already.
No, this is the last week. This is the last hard week. 7 more days I've set for myself to go 7 more days hard, and then ease up. So next week is when the ease up comes, and just make sure my weight is on, and that I'm nice and healthy and not sore or beat up like I am today.
Anything different you did in this camp compared to your other one, or is it?
Yeah, I Matt Gable won't hear this in time, but I added a lot of boxing. So I took up a boxing coach, worked a lot of boxing, boxing against a southpaw fighter. So the goal is to catch him on his way in or choke him out once he gets in.
I wanted to ask you real quick, because I know your last fight that you just won against your buddy over there.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta let me know how that felt, because there's a little bit of chirping. I mean, I heard him tell you like that he loves you. And you're like, yeah, man, I love you too. But
I honestly don't even remember that.
Kind of give him a little sarcasm and.
Yeah, he was fine this time. Honestly, he was a lot better. He used to be a lot more disrespectful and a shit talker, and just didn't take the game seriously as I saw. He got a new coach, and we talked about that last time, and so I think his new coach just kind of got it into him to respect the sport and what we do, and so he was a lot more respectful this time, and I think he actually had a game plan in this fight and tried to put that into use, and kind of halfway did it. He was able to stop my shot and make me shoot from far away, but then that was it. You know, once I got a hold of him, it was over, and I kind of knew that. We talked about that. I thought his only shot was to hit me with a big overhand or something and just upset the world.
You had like, because I was right there. I was up me and Jeff were up in that cage, and you had this kind of like psycho smile on your face, like you knew nothing he could do would hurt you. Like the whole time it was like man, Daniel knows this guy's not gonna hurt him.
Yeah, you know what? That smile has been there for the last 6-7 fights, and I think part of it is the confidence that's been built now, and then how hard I'm training.
Yeah.
For 6 to 8 weeks at a time, and then the guys that I'm training with, and I mean I'm training with some heavyweights, and then I got my little guys that are really fast, and so I know that I'm fighting with everybody that I can fight with on a daily basis, and so once I get into the cage and the nerves kind of start to settle in and they relax a little bit. Then the smile, because it's like you can't do anything that I haven't seen in the last 8 weeks, and then I just have that confidence that when I get a hold of him, the fight's over. So I think it's gonna be the same way, and I get excited. I really starting to have a lot of fun when I'm fighting.
Yeah, I was right there standing next to the tunnel before you walked out, and you had this like crazy pit bull face on. I was like, damn, this dude's ready to rock right now.
Yeah, before I walk out, my team knows that I'm already going to be anxious and I'm already going to get nervous always. So they try to keep me as calm as possible until we get to that walkout time. And then it is. It's like I feel like I'm an animal standing there waiting for somebody to say, okay, and take the fucking leash off.
Yeah.
And then when I get in there, then the nerves, they settle. And then it's like, oh, okay, all right. And then it gets fun. Then the smile. And I think the smile pisses people off. And so it works out perfectly.
Do you ever feel like you have to pull back a little on the, like, you know how, like, you get hyped up and you're saying, like, you have this confidence? Do you ever feel like, okay, do you ever tell yourself, like, don't get too confident and let your guard down?
Yes.
Because this guy might come at you.
No,
maybe
I
something
think
you
not
haven't
so
seen,
much.
or is it just kind of like, just...
Not so much not to let my guard down, because I don't feel like I ever take anybody lightly, including guys like the last fight. I knew that he only had like 1 or 2 opportunities in the world that he could have beat me, but I still didn't take him lightly. That's why the fights don't go long. You know, if I had that crazy confidence, I might pepper him up and be like, oh, I'll beat him in the next round. But I don't take chances. Forget it. I'm just gonna smash you.
Just
get
go
you
and
out.
get it done.
I'm not gonna give you an opportunity.
Go home.
Real quick though, the guy who fought right before you, Josh Aviles or Aviles,
yeah.
guy's a monster.
He's a beast.
That guy's
He is
monster.
a beast. He's one of the training partners from Team Diamond, and he is an amazing fighter. He's probably got the best boxing in the business, and he can literally stand in the pocket and just beat the crap out of your body to the point where you're begging him to knock you out. And that tends to happen, is where they're so concerned with protecting their body that they get knocked out.
He did knock that guy out, right? And I remember standing right there. That guy walked in and he did his whole thing in the ring, waiting for Josh to come out, and then he stood at the gate entrance of the ring, like pacing back and forth, like giving him like that ugly killer look, like. And I was like, damn, this guy looks nuts in there. But then Josh got in there and he just one-timed him and just put him on his butt.
The kid was a good kid. He actually was a nice guy, very respectful after the fight too. I know Josh is a good guy, and they showed him a lot of respect also. You know, the game is a lot of mental things, and so a lot of people do things to try to tip you off or to throw you off your mindset. And I don't think Josh is one of those guys that you can kind of knock out of what he's going to do.
Yeah, so all right, so getting back to your fight coming up August 1st.
August 1st.
And where's it going to be at for all the listeners?
At the Winna Vegas Casino in Iowa, Sloan, Iowa, for King of the Cage.
And how you went out there not too long ago, right, for another promo?
I went out there, I want to say in January. I was supposed to fight this same guy, Matt Gable, and I tore my pec muscle, so we had to cancel, but I still went out to help hype the fight up. And I got to watch him fight a guy that just jumped in last minute, like 1 day's notice, maybe even less.
Damn.
And so I got to watch him fight and see what he has. I had seen some videos, but to see him live and to kind of feel what was going on, that was a plus.
How do you feel like your matchup? How do you match up against this guy?
He's good. He's good. He's tough. He's young. He hits hard. What I saw in the last fight, whether it was his weight cut or if it's just the way he is always, he had no cardio. He went for a couple takedowns, and his wrestling is kind of like, if he can run you over, then that's what he needs. I watched the guy defend the first shot, get pushed up against the fence, and then Matt Gable had no game, had no way to get him off that fence. And so if that happens with us, it's over. And then after the guy did that twice, Matt looked exhausted. It looked like, oh no, I can't take this guy down now. And then he was tired. Then it was hard for him to take him down. And then luckily, Matt Gable got lucky, and the guy was winning the fight. I felt he was winning the fight, going, I think it was the second round, and was pushing off from his guard and happened to kick Matt in the eye. It was a total accident, but that's an illegal move. Matt fell back, and I knew it. I was screaming. I was like, oh, he's faking it. He knew that he was hurt, and he knew that he was exhausted, and so he just said, I can't continue.
So he won by like a disqualification?
He didn't win. It was just called a no contest. Nobody won. It was a draw. I really feel that Matt Gable just got really tired. He probably got hurt. I heard he had even like an eye surgery of some sort, but I don't know if that's totally true. It didn't look that bad. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he saw it out. He knew he got hurt a little bit, but he was tired, and he didn't want to lose that fight.
And you don't get tired.
I get tired. Everybody gets tired, man. That's why I try to end fights in the first round.
And that's the plan.
Honestly, right now I'm in such great shape. There is no plan. It doesn't matter. My plan is to make him tired if I don't knock him out right away.
It's kind of hard to believe, though, a guy from Iowa, like the capital of wrestling, and he's not a good wrestler.
You can ask the doctor of MMA or whatever you call my brother, but all the best.
That's the fight doctor.
Fight doctor. The
Trademarked. Blue Collar Sports.
the best high school wrestlers are here in California. You have a couple other states that compete, like I think Ohio and Pennsylvania. What happens is that we have no money in California colleges to give to these high school wrestlers. So every high school wrestler that's really good leaves the state. So then you go to Iowa. Why? Because you got some of the greatest coaches in there. So what I saw at the last fights, no offense to any of the Iowa fighters, I didn't see any spectacular wrestlers. I saw tough as nails fighters. I saw brawlers. I saw some good Muay Thai guys. I saw some good Jiu-Jitsu. But nobody showed amazing wrestling. It wasn't what I expected. I went in looking for the same thing, and I didn't see anybody with this amazing Iowa wrestling.
Yeah, that's weird. You would think, like, the birthplace of it all pretty much, right?
Yeah, but even the birthplace, I mean, Dan Gable, is the one that that's from Iowa who coaches these beasts in Iowa. But even their style of wrestling is just a grinded out wrestling. It's not a super finesse wrestling style. You want that, you look at Nebraska and you look at schools like that. And so, I mean, maybe that's part of it too. Maybe they're just more of a brawling type of wrestling.
So you were saying for this training camp, you kind of implemented more boxing this time?
More boxing because my jiu-jitsu game has just been amazing lately. And so I worked my boxing takedown defenses to try to see if I can catch this kid standing up. I want to throw my hands more. So I did that a lot in training, hoping that it'll come out in the fight. And then if it goes to the ground, I'm pretty solid there. So
yeah, because you're known for your ground. So
yeah, I remember last time you were saying that you're most comfortable with your jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
Now, does it make a difference? Because the dude, he's won 10 fights, and I think it was 6 submission, 4 knockout. Does that kind of like give you something to look at, or is it just kind of like one fight you can kind of tell the type of fighter he is?
To be brutally honest, Matt Gable is one of those guys. If you look at his record, it looks pretty. If you look at the guys he fought nobodies.
Yeah.
Like absolutely nobody. The toughest guys he fought was trying to get on the Ultimate Fighter show. He actually looked really good trying to get on the Ultimate Fighter show, but the guys he fought are all Midwest brawlers, and so all he did was run them over and then put them on their back and beat the crap out of them. He's never fought a good wrestler. He's never fought I don't think he's fought a good kickboxer. He fought probably his toughest opponent when I watched him fight. And so now he's got a tough one. He had a hard time.
Yeah.
And that guy didn't even train for him. Guy didn't even train.
Oh yeah, you were saying
guy
he came
showed
in
up.
early.
The guy was a corner man for another fighter and said, "Oh, I'll fight him. Fine, pay me."
It's dope. Just hanging out in the back.
He fought, and he fights at 155.
Oh shit.
He walks around about 175, 180, fights at 155, and took the fight. Took the fight on 1 day's notice, and then went to a no contest with the guy that's trying to take my belt. Doesn't say a lot for Matt Gable.
Dude. Yeah, like if you're Matt Gable and that was like your last
fight. It almost feels like this is gonna be. I mean, I don't want to put a jinx on it, but it kind of feels like it's gonna be.
No,
not
he's
a big
tough.
deal.
No, he is a big dude. Matt Gable is a big man. Okay, he is a big corn-fed Iowa boy. He looks strong. He's got a powerful double leg. I have to make sure that he does not take me down and hold me on my back.
And he's ranked what, sixth in Iowa?
Sixth in Iowa.
I'm
But
kind of surprised.
like you said, it's those fighters that he's faced, a bunch of nobody. So
Yeah.
how's your like wrestling compared to his though? You feel a lot more comfortable than?
Yeah, come on. I mean, again, I really don't even know his full background. We can Google that real quick, but I don't think he's been wrestling since he was 7.
No, we did really just not much came up.
Yeah.
That's
Which-
literally,
exactly.
what Google put, not much.
Not much.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I come from a wrestling family. I wrestled forever. So he would really have to overpower me. I haven't had anybody really overpower me. If he puts me on my back, then he's got to keep me there and pound the crap out of me.
Then you got your ground game, your jiu-jitsu game that
I
you don't have to worry about.
I don't think he could submit me unless he fades me really bad. I think he's got to put me on my back and then try to TKO me as fast as he can without getting tired.
All right.
Matt Gable, that's your game plan.
Yeah.
And now, after what we were saying last time we talked, you were talking about how usually you like to 6 to 8 weeks for your camp, and you had just come off of a camp, and then this fight was like what?
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
So did you take a little time off, or did you just kind of keep?
I took
just
one.
Keep it
I took
going?
1 week off, and I went right back to training. And then I did 1 week of training, and I took one little mini vacation, and partied it up for 2 days. And then I came back, and I went right back. And so that's why I think my weight is on point. My conditioning is better than it's ever been. You know, this guy's gonna get the best of me.
And you do have to slow it down a little, right? Because I mean, like on fight night, you want all cylinders just running
So that's
perfect.
why next week, Tuesday, starts chilling.
That's cool. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because last time when we were talking about it, and when we left, we were talking and we were like, wait, he says like 6 to 8, and this fight is like 6 or 7 weeks after
this was
fight.
like a quick turnaround for you.
Yes, and I think honestly, King of the Cage loves me because they set it up perfect.
They love
If you look at it, I came off one fight, I went right back into training camp after a little break, and my last fight was against a guy that likes to win by taking people down and smashing them from the top, and he's left-handed fighter. Now I'm going against Matt Gable, who likes to take people down and beat them from the top, and he's a left-handed fighter. I think King of the Cage were smart, and they basically like said, all right, here's your warm-up.
Hey.
Yes.
Here's your warm-up, and here's your real fight.
Here's your real fight.
Get the dollars flowing, baby.
Yeah.
That works, though.
Wait. I want to hear about this little 2-day mini vacation. I mean, what is that? Bedtime by 10 o'clock?
No, mini vacation. Me and the wifey went out to Las Vegas and called some friends and hooked it up and got into clubs and got drunk and hung out by the pool and drank some more and ate some buffet.
Bro, you don't follow the champ on
Yeah, man.
fucking
Hey,
Instagram?
you need to get on my Instagram if you don't
Come
know
on,
what's going
bud.
on,
Of
dude.
course I follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, well
Come on.
then you should have known
I
this.
just want the listeners to hear.
You should have known this, you know, the whatever it's called, live, I don't know, out there in Vegas. That's pretty fun.
It's called El Leon that night.
Yeah, I should have brought my belt. We were saying that.
Dude,
Fuck, imagine.
Put it on the table. I need this table. This is
Yo,
my table.
yo, whatever you want.
I walked around with that. Like, yeah.
I told the guy that hooked it up. I told him next time. I said,
You know
I'm
how many drunk morons
gonna bring my
trying
belt.
to challenge you all night? Go fuck you
I would have been drunk. It would have been fun.
up. Don't want to do that. Has that ever happened to you? Like
No.
being out somewhere and someone catches wind that you're a fighter and they...
No, not at all. And actually, I used to be a dumb punk kid when I was in high school and do a lot of stupid things, and then
You would look for trouble?
definitely. And then when I started training really hard, all of a sudden that all just kind of mellowed. And I think it was just me. And I think honestly, as human beings, we kind of like dogs. We give off like some sort of a pheromone or something, because it seems like I get in those situations and I just tell people like, I'm gonna fuck you up if you don't walk away. And they like,
I do this for
Okay.
a living. Walk away.
you're right. And then they walk away. It's like they're hypnotized. Like, all right, yeah, you know what? I think I will walk away.
gonna
And
take
that
your
never
advice.
happened when I was in high school.
Can I buy you a beer, by the way?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Yeah, I haven't been in a.
if you don't want to risk a stupid injury or something like that over a dumb fight like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've been in a street fight in like 8 years, 10 years.
So, when do you actually take off over to Iowa? Hang
We
out with
leave
the
at
brother cousins.
midnight Wednesday morning. Take the red eye, sleep on the plane with the whole crew from King of the Cage. And then we get there and I'll settle in. I'll probably go train with some of those Iowa boys at Duval MMA and train with them and do my last little weight cut.
Is Mike the promoter going to be there?
Mike?
Yeah. Tell him what's up, man.
I will.
Let him know Blue Collar Sports.
I will. Mike?
Do you have like any like pre-training rituals, like anything?
I do.
that-
I actually just told Mike. I said, hey, because last time we went, they gave me all these buffet tickets. They're real cool. Here's a stack of tickets. Go eat whatever you want. I said, hey, Mike, this time, I'm fighting, so I can't eat that buffet stuff. Can we make a trip to the store? And, I have a ritual. I have certain things that I eat right after weigh-ins. I need to go get those things. And so they're real cool about that. I won't have a car, so they got to drive me. So I will do that.
What are those things that you like to eat right after weigh-in?
Right after I weigh in, I usually drink like a coconut water, and then I will have my Fight Formula by Savant Young. I'll drink that to replenish myself. And then I usually have a chicken breast with some wheat thins, and then I wait an hour or two, and then I carb load like no other. And I usually make either go buy, if we're local, I go buy a certain type of fettuccine alfredo with some chicken, and the biggest plate I can get, and I usually eat half of it, and then a couple hours later I'll eat the other half of it. And then,
so after you stuff up that first half of food, you just go like lay down and mellow out for a minute?
Yeah, I'll be full because your stomach shrinks when you're cutting weight a little bit.
And then you're just laying down there listening to like your favorite podcast from...
Yes, I'll be re-listening to this stuff over and over and over. Except for the stupid ones about Kobe.
Oh!
Yeah, and so you just keep eating, and then, get all your fluids in, and then, so yeah, I'm going to be talking to Winnevegas and see if they'll let me cook my own pasta there. I think they will. And then the next morning, get up and I do my normal stuff, egg whites and oatmeal, and then I have to have like a Subway sandwich, and I don't know if Subway exists in Iowa, so I have to make a sandwich.
At the FedEx one now.
Take it with me in my bag.
Okay, so let's say if you're fighting like at 9 p.m. at night, what time is your last meal?
Usually some sort of like a Quest bar and fruit, probably around 6, 7.
Oh, okay, so it's not too far.
No, you gotta have the fuel. You try to keep it as similar as what you do on your regular day. That's why we train so hard to mimic on a 10 times scale how a fight's going to be. So today I ate my meals, boom, 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 and then I had a Quest bar, and then I did my training session. And then it's like, oh, I got all this energy, cool. So then it's prepared for that day.
It's almost like when you step in the cage, it's like another day of training.
Yes.
Does it ever it gets easier though, right? I'm sure throughout training camp, like staying disciplined on your certain food regimen, or does it get tougher? Like
you have ups and downs.
Like you're sitting next to someone scarfing on a pizza, and like, damn, that looks bomb.
Yes, ups and downs. Like I just told my kids the other day they want a pizza, and I was like, nope, nobody gets pizza in this house.
Not happening.
Nobody. And they said, why? I said,
screwed
because
for
Daddy
6
can't
weeks.
eat it, so you need to wait. And they just started laughing. The other day they went and got frozen yogurt, but like Menchie's frozen yogurt with all the toppings, and so I went and got my 0-calorie popsicle, and they were just laughing at me. And let me taste that. It tastes like water. That sucks. Yeah, thanks, kids. Go to bed now. Go to bed.
Oh man,
So it goes up and down. You get used to it, but then there's those days where you just all of a sudden you just feel that hunger that you used to feel.
you ever seen like any fighter just go nuts and just kind of eat something crazy? Like, what are you doing right now?
Oh yeah, I've known plenty. My one of my training partners, Johnny Espinoza, used to cut from like 200 to 155 gradually, but he was down to like 170 training hard, and he had 15 to go, and then all of a sudden, he tells this story all the time, he went and he just went nuts. He said he got like one piece of chicken and just couldn't stop, and he just started eating, and then grabbed something else, eating, and he ballooned up, and then he had like a week or two to go to the fight, and he had to go cut all that weight again.
Now, do you guys use IVs like to rehydrate yourself?
You could, but when you have the Fight Formula by Savant Young,
You don't need that.
You won't need it.
Damn.
And the thing is that when you do the IV, you run all kinds of problems. And I did IVs when I used to cut to 170s. I had friends that were paramedics, and my chick's a nurse now. They would run the IV for me, and I just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel that much.
Not much.
That very good. I felt kind of crappy. And I'm a wrestler, so I've cut weight forever, but I never felt very good cutting weight when I fought. And I had a full recovery time,
Right.
24 hours. So I don't know. One thing that I know that does happen to some people is your body, when you put that IV in, you get too much of like the potassium and the sodium, and your body can swell, and then it's like an overswelling within the next few days, and you'll gain like 30 pounds of water, and that's not healthy for you either. So there's different things. You try to find different methods, but I guess if you work with a doctor or somebody, maybe IV is the way they still do it, but I just don't like it.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, I just brought it up because I didn't know. Well, it's good that for you it wouldn't have been a problem, because they were saying that they were trying to ban that.
I know the UFC has banned
it.
What's that?
The IV.
IVs.
Why is that though?
Because they were saying you could trace back the plastics, right? For people that might be what was it? Blood.
They'll get sick somehow, right?
No, saying that they could cheat that way, like they could.
They could blame it on
blood, not blood though, but like when you transfuse
Yeah.
your blood, and they're saying you could do PEDs like that, or like take the blood out, do something.
They'll do
with
the
it.
blood spinning.
Yeah, that stuff. They're saying they could do that, so they just want to eliminate it so that you can't. But then a lot of fighters are saying that.
So basically, they're just drinking.
Fight formula.
There you
That's
go.
it. Honestly, if they were to eliminate it, it would be probably better because all your guys that are cutting super super hard maybe would just go up one weight class, and everybody would fight the same people.
Yeah. Well, because
It would all be healthier.
What I was reading is that people were mad, and then they were saying that if they're dehydrated when they go into a fight, you've got a greater chance of brain damage.
Sure.
You know, but then what they're saying is, okay, well then just don't fight it that way. Yeah, don't fight it that way. You fight where you're supposed to be, and you'll be okay. Which I mean makes sense too. And they were saying it was going to start at 189, and then they pushed it back because I guess there was too much controversy around it. What'd you think about 189, by the way? Did you watch that?
Which one was that?
Mendez Connor?
Yes.
I haven't even watched it. It's recorded at my parents' house. I heard about it. I am waiting to watch and figure out how come Mendez couldn't hold Connor down.
He looked gassed.
And that's what he said.
Yeah.
I heard the interview. He said he just gassed. He didn't do a full training camp, and Connor gassed him out.
Yeah, when we were watching it,
It was straight like Mendez is just bullying this guy around like nothing. And then
yeah, it was pretty bad.
towards the end of that second round, that last choke, and Connor got out, and then you saw Mendez get up, and he just looked spent.
He got up, he had a smile on his face, and his hands both down. And he got hit once, and he didn't put his hands up. He kind of just kept scooting to his left. Then he got hit again, and then he kind of put his right hand up like this, and then that right came, and then
Probably had just
out.
no arms at that point. No arms.
He got knocked, like, the fight was stopped, like, 3 seconds left.
Yeah. I remember we were all like,
I was
no,
like,
what
man,
happened?
how could they call with 3 seconds left? But then the more we thought about it, it's like, well, Mendez is not finishing 3 more rounds anyway. Like, there's no way he'd have that. I mean, he'd be a freak if he had 3 rounds left in him.
Now, have you ever had to take a fight on short notice like that?
Many.
Yeah.
I took many fights on short notice with my old coach, who remains nameless. Stupid fights that I shouldn't have taken. I fought El Kukui on 2 weeks' notice. Had no idea who he was. Looked him up real quick and saw that he was from Western Michigan or something wrestling. I was like, it's nothing. And I think I was winning in the first round, and then in the second round, I kept going at his pace the same way Josh Talbson went with him, and he ended up just gassing me out, beat the living crap out of me. And then later, oh man, he was good.
Do they kind of like lull you into that?
Yeah, it's all about money. It's all about money. And my old coach used to be like, "Oh, you could do this. You could be anybody.
You got it.
You should be ready to at all times." And he just was stupid. He was looking for his paycheck too. Always.
Yeah. No, that sucks.
So this must have been, I don't want to say easier, but not as taxing, I guess, on your body, because you came off that fight right around the weight you needed to be, and you kind of just stayed in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Picked up where you left off and just.
Did you give yourself an actual break though from like fight night and say, okay, next week we'll go? Or
Yep. Yeah, one whole week I didn't do anything.
But did you still kind of maintained your diet regimen, or you kind of picked out for that week?
I didn't really pig out, but I didn't stay as strict as I normally am.
Yeah.
But I didn't go crazy because I knew I had to get ready.
Yeah. So if you're how many? You're about 9 days out, 11 days out, something like that.
9 days out. I don't know. What is it? Next Saturday? No, I think it's a little more because I know I planned that I'm going to train 7 more days, so I want to say that there's probably 14 more days ahead of me. 11?
Still have.
Yeah. So I mean,
Today's Tuesday.
You're starting to get the anxious feeling like I need to get in there already, or
No,
not yet?
no. I'm tired of training. I'm trying to make it through this last week.
Do you ever get those butterflies in your stomach? Like
Constantly. But they won't come. I already know when they're going to come. They're going to come when we land in Iowa. They'll start because I'm in his home.
Exactly.
And then the night, once we weigh in, We'll weigh in. We'll do the face-off. I'll already have the butterflies, but I'll try to pretend I don't and look angry.
What city is it in Iowa?
Sloan, Iowa.
So what is there, like a hotel and an airport, and that's a bunch of farms?
Pretty much, man. There is
Just
one.
farms and
There is
Farms
one.
and red barns everywhere.
There's one city. Maybe that's Sloan. I honestly don't even know. Winnevegas Casino is out in the middle of nowhere, probably 15, 20-minute drive.
Well, isn't Iowa basically out in the middle of
Yes.
nowhere itself?
Yeah.
But you drive from the Winnevegas Casino 15, 20 minutes, and then you're in the town, which is like Monrovia. Okay? It's their big city is like Monrovia,
Like
Old
downtown-
Town.
like
Yeah.
downtown Monrovia.
They have a Hard Rock Casino. Probably wasn't supposed to mention that. They have the Winnevegas, which is so much nicer than the
Yeah,
Hard Rock.
Yeah, the Hard Rock is
Hard
shut
Rock
down
is just-
almost.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's
That's
about
how I
to
went to
get
Hard
shut
Rock.
down.
I left.
It's really run down.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then they have like bars and sports things, and they have rodeos and there's a
Banjos
couple
everywhere, people-
colleges nearby, but it wasn't like I expected maybe a college town. Didn't look like a very college town type place. They took us out because I wasn't fighting, so we went out to a rodeo. That was fun. And then we went to a bar and had a couple drinks, and it was cool. They were cool people. Everybody there is cool, really nice.
Do they all have teeth?
Sioux City. That's Sioux City, Iowa.
Sioux City, yeah.
Because we did radio there. We did some news stuff. And it's just such a small town that we are the biggest thing. That's also cool. When
Yeah.
we get there, we're the biggest
They're
thing.
superstars.
I remember you were
Superstars.
saying that
They're
it
like
was
Kobe.
a big deal over there.
Better than Kobe.
Yeah.
LeBron.
Oh. They just took a notch-
He was
took
like
a notch-
LeBron over there, bro.
Took a notch down.
Yeah, I remember last time we were here and you were talking about when you went over there, you were telling us about that
Yeah.
whole experience and how nice everybody was and how it was kind of like you were expecting
yeah.
a little bit of hostility and everybody was like super cool with you.
I thought for sure because that's like their golden boy out there. He's the one that they're hoping makes it. I'm surprised he's ranked 6th in Iowa because he seemed like he was the kid that they're looking at to
They're
make
next.
it out of there.
And he just doesn't have it, huh?
I just don't think he's that good. I think he's good, but I don't think he's amazing. I've watched fighters fight where you're just like, damn, I don't know what I would do if I fought that guy. He was not that guy. I think he's very beatable. I think he's tough, but he's beatable.
How long do you think Matt Gable would last if he moved out here and trained and did all that stuff?
He'd probably quit.
Oh,
There's too many. There's too many.
that's shots fired.
Dude, there's too many good 185 pounders. I mean, there's too many
There should
good.
be like a lot of like MMA
A lot of
fighters are out in
talent is here.
California. Yeah, you got a lot of MMA fighters,
Yeah.
a lot of big teams out here that are training.
I think he's fought like 15, 16 times. I've fought like 20 something. He could take half my list of people that I've beat, and I think half of them would beat him. I know the kid that I beat from Idaho, Will Nolan. He would smash Matt Gable. Will Nolan would smash Matt Gable because Will Nolan was tough as nails, which is what I think Matt Gable has going for him also. But Will Nolan was better technically. Will Nolan, if he can't avoid Matt Gable's double leg, Will Nolan will not tap out and gas Matt out and then beat him.
So the way go ahead.
Is there a fighter that like you fought that was like super close that you've been like, I'd like another shot at that, like either you won or you lost? Is there somebody out there that you're like, that was one hell of a fight that I wouldn't mind fighting again?
There's every single person that I've lost to, I'd want to fight them again. But I mean, everybody feels like that, I think.
Right.
You always want that second chance. Now you know what they have. You know what to expect. There's been a few guys that have beat me that I go, oh, I'd fight them in a heartbeat.
Just destroy.
I couldn't imagine being in a tough fight, pulling out the win, giving everything I got, being pretty much dead after I beat this guy, and then to say like, yeah, I'll do a rematch. Like, no,
I don't think so
I
either.
didn't.
I won.
Done.
I'm out of here.
Leave me alone.
Drop the mic.
That's it.
Yeah, that's just
No rematch for you.
that's just being a human, bro. That's
Yeah.
cool. I think everybody's like
Because
that. I
you'll
don't
see
care how
like these
tough
big
you are.
fights like in UFC or like in boxing where these guys just beat the crap out of each other and the winner looks sometimes worse than the loser, and yeah, we could do a rematch. It's like, whoa, no.
But I think at that point again, you're hearing the hype.
You're concussed,
No,
bro.
nobody wants.
Yeah.
You're
Nobody-
concussed. You don't.
You're training body on
no fighter wants to act like, no, I wouldn't do that again. You know, if I just beat you and then you said, man, I barely lost, I want to fight you again, I'm gonna say, yeah, anytime. You know, I'm not gonna say, fuck, that was hard, I don't think I want to try again.
No.
I'm not gonna give you a second chance. But
Yeah.
secretly, when we go home, you're gonna call your agent and be like, there's no need for me to fight that guy again.
I've won.
Yeah,
I
don't make
won.
that happen.
Screw that. He
Yeah.
needs to go
Sound
beat
record.
somebody else
Yes.
first.
Okay.
Just be like Floyd Mayweather at that point. Start
Yeah.
throwing obstacles up.
Oh,
bro.
there's no
Yeah.
point.
No,
There's
no,
point.
no, there's no point. I already beat him.
I'm gonna wait in 7 years to fight this guy.
I already beat him.
Haven't beat like 3 other guys.
Yeah.
Get knocked down, get an
And-
injury.
yeah.
Get
Make sure
old.
he's 6 years older than when you should have
Yeah.
fought him.
That's the one thing that we always talk about that is better in MMA, like especially like in UFC and I'm sure King of the Cage, where you have to fight the next direct
next dude
contender.
up.
When in boxing, it's like, nah, not yet for this guy. Let's go fight this guy. Keep pumping up my record or keep.
Yeah, I think MMA is a little more real. You know, in boxing, they're still trying to sell everything, and so you can't have your moneymaker lose.
Yeah, that's the thing in boxing. Like they protect the prize fighter.
I think they're starting to do that in MMA. I think Conor McGregor has
That's
been
what-
kind of
yeah.
protected for a while.
Well, that's what we were talking about on the podcast when they first announced it. I was telling these guys, I was like, I think that's the stupidest thing the UFC could do for their business. Like, it was a great fight to see what Conor was made of, to like actually, because he's had all these cupcake fights, no wrestlers whatsoever. He was number like 5 or something, and you're gonna throw him up against Jose Aldo. And it's like he hasn't proven himself against anybody. Like everybody he's beaten, dudes were taking him down. Like sure he won, but it was kind of like nothing big. And then you're gonna throw him up against this like tier 1 wrestler, Chad Mendez, and everybody's like, yeah, but he doesn't have like that much training. And it's like, dude, he hasn't trained for wrestling
Yeah.
at
Would
all.
you say they're trying to like use him kind of like another Chael Sonnen and just have him like hype up the fights and like
Yes.
get-
I think
He even says it.
He's so
Yeah.
He's Joe Hollywood though, like that guy, and he's gonna fit in two categories. And the category he's in for me is I hate the guy, but like for someone else, I love that style. Like he's flashy, he's a loudmouth. People are into that, but for me, like but for me, I'm gonna buy it because I want to see him lose, and the other half's gonna buy it because they want him to win. So.
So I don't hate him. I think he's a great fighter. I do think they're protecting him a little bit, but they're smart. I think they've done the same thing kind of with Ronda Rousey, and they let you get better as you're beating a little bit lower level people. I thought Mendez was going to win just because he was a wrestler, but obviously he needed to train. That says something for Conor. That says even a great wrestler, if he's not fully prepared, can't beat Conor. But if they put Conor McGregor out there with a full training camp, even a Uriah Faber full training camp, that might be bad. I think any of those wrestlers is really bad for Conor if they're ready for him.
Yeah. You're right, Faber. Though.
Like I was telling your brother too.
I like Uriah.
I was like, I'd feel better if they gave him Faber, because they were talking Frankie or Mendez, and I'm like, dude, both of those are horrible for him. And if you're gonna give him a wrestler, give him Faber, even though he's legit. But out of the 3 like big names that you're gonna give him, I think that might have been
I think
more negotiable. for
Faber
him.
would beat Mendez.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I can't remember the last time I've even seen Faber win.
I
What
think
did you-
Faber would beat Mendez.
They were
It's
saying
been a while, man.
They were saying
Like
today
saying-
that because they're doing the next
Yeah.
Ultimate Fighter, and I guess they got into it again today.
That's bull. It's
And
all for show.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, because it just looked like
I think it's all
I'm
for
looking
show.
at it, I'm like, come on.
It's all for show.
But they're already saying that they're not gonna fight, right? That they're coaching, but they're not fighting at
I
the
hope
end.
they fight.
That's what.
Did you get to meet Rampage at
Yes.
the?
No, not that day. I've met him many times.
Is he a nice guy?
He's a great guy.
No.
When I
To you, but
Well, I don't know.
That's-
I haven't talked to him in years. Honestly, when I first got into MMA, he was one of the first people I trained with, and I was shocked at how nice of a guy he was. He was a great guy, very family oriented, which reminds me of how I am now. Like we would go to training, and his son would be there, sitting there on the floor playing with his toys, watching us train.
yeah.
And he would come and mess around with his son, and he'd come back in and train. Really good guy.
What'd you think of that music video?
I'd never seen it.
Did you hear the song at least? I know you heard the
Never
song.
heard it, never seen
They played it live, like one of the rappers from Wu-Tang and some famous
I don't
guitarists
know.
I've never heard of, and
I've never seen
they
it.
played the song. It was awful, but I mean,
I don't know.
It was a song about Rampage. And
I don't know.
that was kind of crazy.
It doesn't matter. Rampage is smart. He's making money everywhere he can.
Yeah, so he's no longer a part of UFC, right? Or
Right. I think he's in Bellator, right?
yeah. So he got his start though in King of the Cage because
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. Rampage is great.
cool guy.
Very cool.
Who else did you meet? As like
When I first started, I met Jason Mayhem Miller at a jiu-jitsu tournament, and then I was throwing people like crazy with judo throws at that tournament. Mayhem talked to a friend. I left. I was mad because I lost. I got ankle locked twice, and so I left. Like, fuck this jiu-jitsu shit. Grabbing my feet. And Mayhem asked my buddy where I went, who I was, blah blah blah. My buddy gave him who I was and my credentials and what I've done, and so he called me to go train with Rampage. And so we trained, and we probably about a good year. I even went out to Vegas and trained with a few other guys out there like Kendall Grove, and I got to train at the Body Shop for a long time. Through that, I met Antonio McKee, and then I met Savant Young, who I've had friendships with ever since.
Did you see who we met at King of the Cage other than Rampage?
No.
Dan Severn.
Dan, I've never met Dan Severn.
That guy was.
Did you notice that my opponent at that fight had Ted Williams, right? Ted Williams in his corner, one of the OG UFC fighters, known for the front kick to Coleman's face.
I didn't.
He was in the corner. I saw him. I was like, oh my god, I need your autograph.
Yeah. No,
After you beat the dude up,
Yeah,
you're like,
I
hey,
said it
sorry
was
what I
an
did to
honor.
your guy.
It was
but
an honor to meet you. Yeah, he was in his corner. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, Dan Severn was talking a little smack because Jeff asked him and goes, "Think you can take any of these guys right now?" He's like, "Oh, he was like, go through 6 before I need a break." I was like, "Damn." Still on it.
I'm sure everybody would still think that when they get old.
Yeah, you're almost there.
I'm getting there.
Just kidding.
I am getting there.
All right, well, we good.
we're good, dude.
Let's let this man
Let
get
the
home.
champ go to
and
sleep, bro.
I need to go eat and go to bed.
That's it, man. Let the listeners know one more time about Daniel Leone's fight, where it's gonna be at, when they can.
August 1st, it will be live on Mav TV.
Woo!
Tune in. I'm not sure at what time, but you can look at kingofthecage.com for the showtime. And we will be in Sloan, Iowa, at the Winna Vegas Casino. Me versus Matt Gable.
What about to all your fans? Where can they find you on Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
all that?
I don't know all the addresses, but Daniel L. Leon on Facebook, or Daniel Hernandez on Facebook, Instagram, Daniel L. Leon. Type it in. The Vault MMA and Fitness in Monrovia. Type any of that in. You'll see stuff, pictures, and tags, and you can find me.
And he's ready. You should see him right now.
I'm ready.
Even though he looks half asleep,
I'm ready to go to bed.
he's ready. He's ready for bed. But all right, guys, that's our show, Blue Collar Sports. Thank you for tuning in, listening. We want to wish Daniel good luck. You know he's gonna beat some ass. So, but check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Blue Collar Sports, hashtag Blue Collar Sports on Twitter, and follow me on Twitter at Chris Blue Collar.
JJ Naharo.
At Jay Van Gundy 23 is not here today, and I would like to thank Sean Gershon for filling in today for.
Thank you guys for having me.
Jeff.
It's an honor.
All right, guys, thanks a lot.
What's that?